Hey viewers, today I'll be doing my first multiplayer test of the Hennessey Venom F5 at Golden Max in Asphalt 9. This is the brand new king of the game, and it is a king by a long shot, as you can see in this video. There's a stat of 500 for the top speed stat, and that is the highest in the game, even when the car is maxed, because the Yesco can only do 496 kilometers, and this Venom F5, it can do about 334 miles an hour, I'm pretty sure. And this car is very fast, and it even has the drifting capability. It has the new sharpest drifting in the game, and it's also, I'm pretty sure it's also the most floaty car in the game too. Because if you drift all the way, it'll immediately start doing a floaty, even if you didn't want it to. And when you do a full floaty, it'll almost always do a 3-wheel, and that's pretty crazy. Now, this Venom F5, unfortunately, is extremely pay to win, kind of like the Tutor, except it doesn't use a key, so you cannot just skip your way to the key packs because, well, there is no key. And I'm pretty sure, I think people did some calculations in the server I was in. I think you need $2,000 just to unlock this car, and maybe even more to max it. And that's just unfortunate because this car is just so fun to drive. It's genuinely one of my favorite cars now. It's just too bad I'll only be able to drive it like every 2 years maybe. Because given that the Yesco hasn't even come back yet in a multiplayer season, or in any way apart from the one Grand Prix that made it come back in last year. And that's kind of just unfortunate because, well, there's no more free to win kings in this game anymore, and you can't even use the Yesco in SLE anymore. So they literally just force people to go for this car or just deal with it, because the Yesco was the second, or was the best car in the game, in front of the Tutor on most tracks. Because even though the Tutor had better tracks or better stats on paper, the Yesco is just a better car because it's more floaty, the drifting is much better, and the speed is better. The only advantage the Tutor has is the acceleration in Nitro, and even then, that might not come into play all that often. It's only a 2-point difference at most. Now, this car is very strange in some physics where it's not like the Sheeran where it will always die if you land, but there are some issues that I've encountered while I was driving it. More specifically, when I hit a wall hard enough, my car tends to just flip over. And I'm pretty sure when you do floaties, the car tends to just hit the floor, kind of like the 911 GT2 RS. But I'm pretty sure this is just something that's up for every extremely floaty car in the game, because it just lifts up way too much. Like, even when you see it, I wasn't even doing a floaty, but it just lifted up when I just stopped and didn't do it. And that's just how insane this car is. And you saw the speed, 380 miles an hour, and it will stay at that speed just because the drifting is just so good. I'm pretty sure someone compared the world record runs between the Yesco and the new Venom F5 world record, and I don't know, the Venom F5, I think it beat it by like a whole second or two. I don't really remember because I watched it like 2 weeks ago, but this car is by far the best car in the game, and I would definitely be afraid if I see this thing in multiplayer, because my Tryon won't have anything against it. Apart from maybe the Nitro, because I think this car has one of the worst Nitros in process now, and it's made even worse by the fact it has such a high top speed. I'm pretty sure it's actually in like the high 20s, and that's actually really, really bad because the median for Class S is around 60 on Nitro, which is actually like, it varies from very high 40s to low to mid 50s depending on the car. And then you have the Baby Blade, which has like a 57, I think, or even worse. It's because of the Nitro, and you can see here, look how high this car floors. It even touched the floor once. Now back to what I was saying, the Baby Blade, I'm pretty sure its Nitro stat is just worse because of how the Nitro penalty habit works. Basically, I think it scales with your top speed and your Nitros. So if you have a very high Nitro stat and a very high top speed, then the penalty will be even higher than, say, a car with a low nitro stat but really high speed. I don't really know the exact equation, but I can probably tell just by looking at the nitro stat or the nitro duration, and here I kind of did this stupid. That's besides the point. Anyway, I'd like to say the current events is going on right now in Asphalt 9. We have the back to school event. We aim to sell multiple various different cars for free credits, tokens, and some P1 blueprints. And I think the Venom F5 along with the SVJ's Unleashed and Zonda HP Barquetta's Grand Prix, which I unfortunately didn't qualify for because I actually think I forgot to play the qualifiers. Anyway, there's also the 4GT Mark II car run, which I am actually grinding on right now. I think I'm on like 239 races by the time I checked this video, and I'm at around 107 blueprints. Which means I only have to do around 68 more blueprints to unlock it, which is a good thing because I really wanted that car. I missed it the first time it came around because I had to deal with school, and I really hope I don't have to miss it again because of school. And I hopefully will be doing a video of that car once I get it 4-star. I won't be having all of the epic on it unfortunately because, well, I missed it the first time it came around, so that means I don't really have any epics for it. I think I might have one. Now, I wanted to talk about the recent events in Asphalt 8. So basically, if you've been living under a rock, basically Asphalt 8 is receiving a huge update, which basically just changes the game experience. And likely not for the better, because if I pull up the changelog right now, it would say something like amazing. Yep, Asphalt 8 8th anniversary update. The Bolide Festival already started on September 3rd. We'll have a new Mercedes Vision EQS for free, race avatars which you can customize even though how are you going to see it. They're going to be changing the UI and the garage environment, menus, and more work to be more improved and usable. I don't know what the hell drive is. This is drive with drive. And they removed several features such as card collections, asphalt trackers, daily tasks, tag racing, iOS replay kit, and mastery, which they didn't need to remove. They said they were removing mastery because they're not being used, even though they deliberately removed the ability to replay mastery so it hasn't been used ever, and multiple cars, including my Vesvani V-Stacks and my RXA SE. Now, as we get onto this last race of the video, I'd like to give my thoughts on this car. It's definitely the new king by a huge margin, and no car will ever come close to this thing in terms of lap time for a good while. Because even though Hennessey purposely made the car this good on purpose, it is very fun to drive. It is super floaty. The drifting ranges is exceptionally sharp. It's sharper than most cars even while it's doing a 3-wheel. And nitro efficiency is very bad, but it's okay because the speed is not that hard to keep. The acceleration, I think it's a fake stat with a modifier of -1, but the top speed, honestly, very good because it's the fastest car in the game by a long shot. But this car is very pay to win, and that's pretty much all I have to say about this thing. So, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Maybe leave a comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.